Okay, so welcome to the Copilot Studio User Group. So this is the second session for our user group. So in this session, we are going to cover the tips in Copilot Studio. So we have myself as a presenter and Nehal Shah. So Nehal is going to provide an introduction when she's going to share her screen. So I basically am an MVP for business application. I am a Power Up Champ valued contributor, and I do some community related work in and around Power Platform based applications. Now, what is coming up? So I'll start with basic news around Copilot Studio, any recently released features, upcoming features, uh, and then we start with our topic. So Copilot Studio tips. Now, in the Copilot Studio tips topic, there are like items which we are going to cover. So one is so there's like two segments. Basically, one will be covered by Nehal and one will be covered by me. So we'll be shortly covering around getting the identifiers, session details, solutions, how to make a copy of a topic, how to save the snapshots, how to search and share an agent, how to view the prompt, how to test the triggers. So those kind of things we are going to cover in one segment, and in the end of the segment, I'll be covering debug mode, turning off agent, licenses of Power Platform Admin Center, grouping the files, setting limit to an agent, and how do we change the model for LLM. Then look into some of the transcript within Copilot Studio and exploring the tool savings. These are some of the resources which are currently I've just collated. So these are some set of tools which help you in developing Copilot Studio application. So Copilot Studio Kit, Copilot Agent Toolkit, Copilot Studio VS Code extension, and there are other estimated tools which will help you to estimate the capacity consumptions and then view the license cost. So you can have a look into this. And there are some resources in terms of newsletter, license documentation, training related to Copilot Studio. So that's all about in the slides. So what I'm going to do is first and foremost, this is our user group. So if you're not part of the user group, you can navigate to the link which I'm going to share in the Teams chat. You can click on join now and then you can be a part of the user group. We do post event monthly, so make sure that you uh, are like say logged into the application, and then you will be able to receive notification for Copilot Studio based events. Now, to start with the news first part, what's coming new? You might have heard recently that Anthropic joins the multi-model lineup in Microsoft Copilot Studio. So now, along with OpenAI related models, you will be soon seeing Anthropic based models as well. So Anthropic has a couple of models, Claude Opus 4.1 and Claude Sonnet 4. Now, these are the two models which you will be able to utilize. Now, remember, like when you turn this on, this data may flow from Microsoft tenant to Anthropic based services. So, if you consent to that, then it is well worth exploring those particular models. Yeah. Okay, so that's the first one. Second is computer use is now in public preview in Microsoft Copilot Studio. So computer use, basically it's in public preview, so you can explore various automation for an application which does not have an API. So it can be any simple application which is maybe built in say Visual Basic or C Sharp, or maybe any other application which does not have any AI API built into it. So you can use computer use feature in Copilot Studio, and then you can do a lot of automation. So it comes with a very powerful model. So you can go ahead and explore that as well. So this starting today, customers with the US based environments can add computer use to their agents directly as a tool. So this was like an announcement made on the September 15, 2025. Strengthening the agent security with real-time protection in Microsoft Copilot Studio. Now, as we are exploring different models, not only OpenAI, so there is a need to secure the agent. So various Power Platform Admin Center related features, I will show you in the tips as well, how we can strengthen the agent security within Copilot Studio. So you can have a read into the Microsoft blog So it basically talks about how this particular application like Microsoft Defender will help you in monitoring the agents and the data flow between the environments. The next news is all about that was like published September 3, 2025. Automate decision making with AI approvals in Microsoft Copilot Studio. So again, this is all about Power Automate Flow. So it's all about AI approvals within Copilot Studio, which helps in organization handle decision making, automating the approval workflow, and providing human in the loop if required. Introducing request for information in Copilot Studio agent flow. Again, this is all about related to Power Automate Flow, which is available within Microsoft Copilot Studio. This new capability bridges the gap between automated efficiency and human insight. So you can have a read into this particular article. So these are like basically the news in the last 1 month. So, without further ado, I would like to introduce Nehal Shah. So, she will be going through the first set of tips within Copilot Studio. And then after that, I'll be taking over and then I'll be exploring and explaining you the tip number 11 to 20 within Copilot Studio. So, over to you, Nehal. I'll just stop
Yeah,
sharing.
thanks, Girish. Can everyone hear me all right?
Yes, I can.
Good. Hello, everyone. My name's Nehal Shah, and I am Dynamics 365 consultant at SOCO, mainly working on Power Apps and Power Pages currently. And as Girish mentioned, I'll be going through some of the handy tips while you are using Copilot Studio. So let me share my screen. Can everyone see my screen with the Copilot Studio?
Yes, I can.
All good. Okay. First of all, I'll start with some of the IDs. How do you get some of the important IDs when you are on Copilot Studio? First of all, how can you get agent ID? So, when you open any agent, let's open this agent here. Um, Yeah. So just as usual, you can get agent ID from the URL. So this is the agent ID. Where else you can get is by going into Maker portal. There is a table called Copilot table, and there you can get the agent ID as well as a GUID. Um, Going back to Copilot Studio, another way of getting a few of the IDs are going into this ellipsis and sorry, going into the settings and going into advanced and checking this metadata will give you lot of useful ID like agent app ID. You can also get environment and tenant ID, and you can also see the schema name of this particular agent. Another handy place to go and check all the IDs are going into the settings. So you don't necessarily have to be on the screen. You can go on the settings and click on the session details, which will give you lot of details about agent. So agent ID, you can also get environment ID, you can get session and tenant ID. So a lot of handy details in that in this session details. So worth going there whenever you need any IDs. Next up, I wanted to show you is about the solution. So whenever you are on Copilot Studio and before you start creating any agent, it's a good idea to first set up your solution. So before I show you how to set up the solution, I would like to show you how you can actually get there in the solution interface. So when you are already on the agent, you can go into the ellipsis and you can see view solution here. When you will click on that, it will redirect you to the solution screen. And also if you click on import or export agent, that will also basically redirect you to the same interface here. It will take some time to open, but basically it will redirect you there. And then other place to go to that solution interface is going into this ellipsis, and you can see solution tab there under explore, and you can also go into make.powerapps.com and check the solution. So once you open the solution interface, let me go there. um, you can click on this set preferred solution. So when you will click on this set preferred solution, it will give you a list of solutions. So you can pick your solution, and you can apply, and that will set uh, as a preferred solution. It will add the tag in front of the solution as well. As you can see here, this is my preferred solution. Now why it is important to do that is because when you don't set up your preferred solution, what will happen whenever you will create any agent here in Copilot Studio, it will by default automatically create it in the default solution of the environment, and it will not add all the components in your solution. So once you set preferred solution, what will happen when you create any agent, it will automatically add your agent here, and also it will add all the related component of the agent in the solution as well. So it will be very handy when you want to deploy your agent from one environment to another environment. Your solution is basically ready, and you don't have to do anything. It will automatically get all the components added into your solution. So that is a solution. Next I wanted to show you is about topic. So sometimes let me go into the agent topics. Sometimes you want to use quite a big chunk of your existing topic, and then develop the logic on top of it. So here you can't see any button, but when you hover over, you will see this ellipsis. When you click on that, there is a make a copy option. So when you will click that, it will basically clone your topic, and it will mark as a copy. You can rename that as well and save it. It will become handy when you have uh, two similar processes that you want to repeat, but then it's different a little bit, and you just want to add a little bit of logic there. I'll just leave there. So that's how you can make a copy of topic. uh, Another handy tool here in this interface is this three ellipses inside your test your agent interface. So if you go there, you have an option to save snapshot. So when you will click there, it will just give you some prompt that savings, and then you can save. So basically it will download one zip folder for you. So I'll open that. I have already was one folder extracted. So it will, by downloading that snapshot, it will give you one YML file and one JSON file. I'll show you how it looks like. So it basically downloads a lot of details about your agent. So your bot ID, your access policy. So currently it has chatbot readers permission, and a lot of other things like solution ID and schema name and everything. You can also see schema name here. So that's there, and then it also downloads dialog.json file. So in this JSON file, you will see all the chat related components in the JSON format. So this will also become handy when you will start creating your agent. So that's about the snapshot. Next thing I wanted to show you is this help pop-up. So when you click on the help, you actually basically can see lot of handy links. So first of all is documentation. There is a documentation related to Copilot Studio, so you can go there and learn more. There is a free workshop agent in a day link here, so you don't have to go into Google and find agent in a day workshop. You can just click and come here to check the event. So there are some events happening recently. If you want to learn more, you can register and go there as well. So coming back here, so just like that, you have so much other materials like training and other things. So that is also I find something handy and to know about. um, Next thing is searching agents. So when you come click on the agent, you will be landed on the list of the agent. Currently we don't have many agents, but once you will have a lot of agents here, the search functionality will also become handy. So you can basically go here and search your agent by name. If you go inside, you can also search a lot of other things, like you can search knowledge, you can search tools, and you can search topics as per custom or system. And there is one global search available as well. So if you click on here, you will see all the topics, knowledge, everything here. So you can basically search anything. You can also filter or group by here. So if you select topics, only topics will come up here and you can search inside it. There is a shortcut key available to open this search, that is Control J. So you can press Control J and land here as well. So that is how you can search your agent. Uh, Now about sharing your agent. So to share your agent, you can open your agent and go into this ellipsis. You can share, and that will open up this pop-up for sharing the agent. Now if you go into this uh, ellipsis, it will give you option to change to the classic sharing. So I would like to show you that first. So I'll click on use classic sharing, and I have to go inside and share again, and then this classic sharing will open up. So here you can assign any name. So let me search Girish, and then you can assign permission to the user. You can also assign security group. Also note that here you have your tenant, so you can also assign permission on the tenant level. Now if you sorry, one more thing, you can also send an email invitation to new users once you assign the permission. So that's on the classic interface. Now if you want to go back to your new interface for sharing, you can again go and click here, use new sharing. And if you click share button again, it will again open up your new interface. So there also you can basically do same thing, assign user permission or security group. You can also assign environment level permission from the new interface. So that is something to keep in mind. And then you can update, and that will assign the permission. I'll just close this for now. uh, Next thing I wanted to touch base on is creating prompts. So let me go in the overview. So there is a section called suggested prompt. So when you will edit there, you can put your title and the suggested question. So this will be visible as the suggested prompt. Now you might have noticed in your Copilot where you using there will be some suggestion already coming up. So when you will do this, let me show you how it will look like. So when we put title and prompt, it will come up as a suggestion when you will actually deploy your agent into Teams or SharePoint or anywhere you want. And when user will click on new chat, they will be provided with some of the suggestion prompt that you have already set on the agent. So just one thing to bear in mind, that when you will set up this suggested prompts, you will not be able to see that suggested prompts in your test your agent interface. So yeah, something to keep in mind. You will only see once you deploy in your interface like Teams or SharePoint. uh, another way to add prompts, but it is different than the suggested prompts, is going into tools and clicking on add a tool, and then going into new tool. So here you have prompt. So when you will click there, you will be coming here where you have privilege to change the model of the prompt. So you can play around different models and give instruction and check your responses, that how your responses are varying as per the model. uh, if you don't know what to write in instruction, you can also go in this ellipsis and go into prompt library. So there are some already predefined prompts here, so you can choose from the predefined library as well. So let me click on run sentiment analysis on text. So it will automatically generate instruction for your prompt. So you can see here there is already input text that is generated, and you can see it's written that you are capable of achieving great things with your unique talent and abilities, and blah blah. So close that. If I will now test this instruction, it will give me what is the sentiment of this input text. So because it was positive, it's giving me positive sentiment. If I will write something like I don't like this, and then close it and test again, it will give me that that was a negative sentiment. So that's how you can use this prompt library. On the model response side, you can see this output. Currently it is set on the text, but you can also change the format of the output. So you can change to JSON, or you can also change to document preview. So in the document preview, you can go into document settings and upload the Word document template. So how you use in Power Apps, you upload Word document template, just that how you will upload the template, and then you will give the instruction, and then response will be based on that template, and it will be provided here. So that is that. Then other thing, by going into this ellipsis, you will see settings. So if you go into the settings, you have further settings regarding the instruction. So if you can set the temperature. So if it is set to 0, it will give very specific responses, and as you go above 0, it will start creating some of the creative responses for the prompt. Then you have record retrieval, and then you can also enable code interpreter. So some of the settings to keep in mind. um, that's so also you can change the name of the prompt, so you can say my prompt, and you can save. So now if you save this prompt, it will be very specific to this agent. I'll show you how to okay, sorry. I'll show you how to. Okay, I'll just cancel and not save it. Now, if you want to create a prompt which is not specific to agent, and you want to use that prompt for more than one agent, you can come here in the tools which is not linked to any agent, and then you can add new tool. It is basically the same thing, but then this way you will be adding the global prompt instead of the instead of the specific agent one. So uh, let me say my prompt, and then from prompt library, let me say run sentiment analysis, and then test that and save. Might take some time. Yeah. So as soon as I save the prompt, it will ask me to configure this prompt for the agent. So now I can add this prompt for the agent. So I can choose any agent. So at a time, you can choose only one agent, but then you can, this is my prompt. At a time, you can use only one agent, but then you can again come here. I'll show you in a minute. So let me add that. So now this prompt got created and it got also assigned to the other agent that I selected. Now, if I want to add another agent for this prompt, then I will open that prompt. There is the add button here. So you can add and then you can select another agent and then press add. So that way this prompt will get added to another agent as well. So you can reuse this prompt if you create from here. Another interesting thing is going into the test. Um, so if I press that and go into the test screen, you will land here and then you have a few other options to start testing. So you can upload your own test cases as a CSV template. You can use AI generated test cases and you have other options as well. So let me just click on AI generated. When you do AI generated, it will also ask you how many test cases you want to generate. So I'll just for now just say 2 um, and then it will create 2 test cases and then I can add more test cases here and I can press run all and it will run all the test and give me result that what was the sentiment for this particular test case. So and then it will give me summary how it ran the test cases. So yeah, I think that's very interesting. I found to test that way. One last thing I wanted to show on the agent is to show you trigger. I'll go into one of the agent. So if you are already using Power Automate, you already know what is the trigger. So trigger is basically same as Power Automate. So you can basically set the trigger and say that this is the condition, this is when I want to trigger my agent. So here, if you come, if you scroll a little bit, you have an option to add a trigger. So when you add trigger, just like Power Automate, you see a few options like you can set trigger when data was row is added, modified, or deleted. You can also set trigger that if SharePoint file is item is created or modified. You can also schedule this trigger to run agent every day or something like that. So when you pick up any trigger, you press next. It will just ask you for the connection, just like how you do in Power Automate. You can also change the trigger name. And then when you press next, basically same as you set up in Power Automate, it will ask you to change type and fill up all these things. And once you are done filling up this, you can press create trigger and that will get added here. Once trigger is added, you can also test that by going into this ellipsis and uh, click on this test trigger and that will list down all your triggers that you have. You can add more than one trigger because you might want to add more than one triggers to for the agent. So yeah, that is all from me. I hope you will find all these handy tips very helpful. I will now pass to Girish.
Hey, thanks, Nehal. Thanks for the useful tips. There's a lot to learn in that space. I really like the prompt one,
Thanks.
which there's like so many things
Yeah,
which you
that's
can
very
configure in
interesting.
prompt. Yeah, so that's pretty much handy. Yeah. Okay, I'll quickly share my screen. Let me know once you guys see my screen.
Yeah, I can.
Yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, thanks, Neil, for explaining about the ID, session details, solution, topic, save snapshot, searching, sharing agent, prompt, and test trigger. I'll also touch base on some of the component within my demo. So the topic which I'm going to cover is about debug mode, turning off an agent, something about the PPAC license. Where do you view the license for Copilot Studio? Something about grouping the files, component collection, security shield, changing the model for an LLM, transcript, tool saving. So I'll not go sequentially, but wherever I find that feature, I'll just explain that. All right. So okay, to start with, like this is, I would say this is like the most important tip. Like whenever you navigate to copilotstudio.microsoft.com or copilotstudio.preview.microsoft.com, click on new agent, and here in configure, you see agent one, right? Right away, change the name. Don't keep it agent one, because I've seen many people just going into the screen and they'll say, oh, I don't want to put anything over here. I'll just click on create. Don't do that, because this agent one, once you name it, you cannot change it in the backend. Yes, the Copilot Studio name you can change, but in the backend, there's a lot of component which gets created. So that will remain as it is. So make sure that when you provision any agent, type in the agent name. Also, another important thing which Nehal raised is about the solution. So you can create solutions and then make sure that whenever you start creating an agent, first thing is create a solution. Don't come to copilotstudio.preview.microsoft.com. First, create a solution. Even if it is a test solution, make it as a practice. You can create as many solutions as you want, in Power Apps. So go there, create the solution, and click on three dots, update advanced settings, and whatever solution name you have created, just select that. So let's assume you created stamp solution, so select that. And this is also an important thing, put a nice schema name. So if this agent is about financial agent, make sure that you put it over here, click on update, and change the name over here and say financial agent. And even if you skip description instruction, that's fine, but this name is the important. Even icon and all you can change it later, but name, clicking on update advanced settings, selecting the solution and the schema name. So because you will not get next chance, once you select it, you select it. So that's the first step. Like this was not even part of the tip, but I thought of giving you this information. Okay. Right, so let me go into, say, Copilot Studio interface. Now here, if I navigate to any agent, so let's assume I'm building an agent. So I've got so many agents listed over here. So let me go into Girish Research Agent. Now, when I'm building a solution, this area is for me to play around, test. Okay, so what I'm doing is, like, before I even release this agent to the customer, I'm testing it, I'm debugging it. Now, remember that if you click on three dots over here, you get an option for debug mode. Always turn it on. Don't turn it off, because there are useful information which you may get while testing your agent. So while testing with agent, you will get a response from an agent. You type in as a customer, agent will respond back, and that's the conversation will happen. But then there might be some conversation which I cannot demonstrate over here, but then here you will find some debugging related information as well, which will not be presented to the end user, but that will help you troubleshoot the issue while building an agent. Now, this is a full blown application. So this is called as a Copilot Studio full interface, through which you can build agents, you can connect to knowledge source, tools, topics, activity analytics, etc. There is a light mode as well. So if you navigate to m365.cloud.microsoft, so here I would call this as a Copilot Studio Lite. Okay. So if you want to build an agent, you can go ahead and click on create agent. And from here, you can, as you see over here, this is also Copilot Studio, but this is a light model. So If you don't want that full blown interface, and if you're pretty much new to the agent development space, this is the right place to start. Copilot Studio, you can go ahead, click on new agent, and again here you will see the same thing: describe, configure, put in the agent name, description. But then there's no concept of solution, so you cannot control a lot of things over here, because this is like just for the starter. Like if you are like a not a pro developer, or maybe you're just like a power user. If you just want to build any agent, you can select a template, you can select some details, put description and instruction, and then you can build an agent. Now remember, like Nehal showed you something about suggested prompts. Now here you have an option to select suggested prompts. Suggested prompts are basically shortcut, which will give the user a jump start. So if the user is pretty much new to the agent, they can actually see the suggested prompt in a tile. So what happens when you interact with the agent? You just click on this tile, and then this particular prompt will get automatically typed, and then you just need to press the enter button, and then it will start looking out for information. So this is like just for a start purpose. Now, okay, what you can do with this agent, you can publish this agent in Microsoft 365. So which I have done, like, so I have this, say, soccer agent. So I have this M365 agent. I can also build an agent in Copilot Studio and publish in M365. And here, this you see something called the suggested prompt, which I have configured. Now, we were going in the topic of debug mode, right? So here we said that debug. Now in M365 Copilot chat, there is an option. So if you just type in dash developer and on, so then it will turn on the developer mode. So you can basically start troubleshooting your agent. So I'll just ask some question, like what is FIFA? And then the agent will start getting those information to me back. And then once this information is retrieved, I'll just scroll and I will see this because the developer mode is on. So I can see agent debug info, raw info, documentation. I click on raw info, I get to see the actual JSON code, what has happened in the backend. So these are the response which I received, right? So this is a useful piece of information when you are troubleshooting an agent. If I click on agent debug info, I can actually see the agent configuration, like the agent ID, the agent version, conversation ID, request ID. Now, this agent is pretty much very simple, right? I didn't connect it to a knowledge source. I didn't enable image analyzer. I didn't enable the code interpreter, nothing. That's why there's no capabilities enabled. But then if you had, it will show you exactly what are the capabilities enabled for this agent, what are the actions, and if this agent is connected to any other agent. So like that, you can basically debug the agent. Now, if you just type in developer off, then it will turn off the developer mode. So this is the uh, way through which you can debug an agent. Now, all this agent, whatever agent you create, if you navigate to Power Platform Admin Center, here you can see various options. Okay, so first and foremost, like if I go into Copilot and click on Copilot Studio, I will be able to see the security details of the agent, monitor, and settings. Here it will give me an information about what actions to take to improve the Copilot and agent, and this is affecting 5 agents. So I can go ahead and view. Okay, this has given me some recommendations. So it says manage agent access through sharing. So manage the agent sharing. So I'll go ahead and say manage sharing, and then it will give me some more information. It says this environment is part of a group and sharing is managed there. So go to the group. So I'll go into the environment group and then I can make those changes. Or if it would have enabled me, then I could have configured the editors and the viewers based settings. So it says let people grant editor permission when agents are shared. So if you want that to be restricted, you can come here and turn on this feature. This one, let people grant viewer permission when agents are shared. So if you are sharing an agent to someone and if that some person is again sharing it further, you can restrict that sharing. So you can say let people grant viewer permission when agents are shared. So let me close this and navigate to Copilot Studio again. Now here I have settings. So if I click on review over here, I get to see a lot of options. Code generation and execution in Copilot Studio. Now remember Nehal showed you prompts, and within that prompts there were settings, and within that settings there was something called as code execution. Now that may have been disabled in your tenant. Now if you want to enable it, navigate here, go to the proper environment whichever you want, click on add, and then from here you have a switch to turn on and off. If you do not want your team member for a specific environment to execute Python based code in the prompts, you can turn it off here directly. So you can turn on and off the code generation and execution in Copilot Studio. Now let me go into the Copilot Studio experience. So this is the Copilot Studio experience. Now I'll go to the overview, go to the settings, and from here I get to pick and choose the model. So I can pick up GPT-4o or depending on my requirement, or I can pick up 4.1, 5 auto, 5 reasoning if the task is demanding. Now you get an option to see anthropic models as well. Now, why this is enabled? Because I'm in the US tenant, and also I've enabled external models within my environment as well. So in your tenant, you will not see this. And remember in the news, I said Cloud Opus 4.1 and Cloud Sonnet 4. Now even they have released 4.5. So it's moving very fast. So you get the most powerful model from Anthropic and then you can utilize it. But remember, your data will be processed outside the boundary of Microsoft. How to enable it? You can navigate to admin center. So now this is not Power Platform Admin Center, but then you need to go to M365 Admin Center. And within M365 Admin Center, you have an option to go to Copilot. So Copilot, and here you will be able to configure your agent. So go to settings, data access, and then this is the option, AI providers for other large language models. So I click on this, it was off. I click checkbox and Anthropic is now allowed. So it says allow users to connect to other large language models in Copilot chat while building agents in Copilot Studio. So you have Copilot Studio interface. Not all the settings are available over here. So if this is an agent, you go into the settings and you can configure agent wise. But if you want to configure the tenant level setting, you need to navigate to Power Platform Admin Center. And then there are some settings in M365 Admin Center as well. So make sure that you know that information. So there are some settings related to Copilot Studio also residing in M365 Admin Center. All right, so coming to Admin Center, here now authentication for agents. Now I'm ready with my agent. I want to publish this agent. So I'll go over here, settings, security. Here I get multiple options like authentication. So I can publish this agent to Teams, SharePoint, Power Apps, M365 Copilot. Now this is good, this is safe. The moment you do this, this is not good. Yes, there might be use case whereby you need to you need to make your agents publicly available in any channel. That's good. But you need to be very careful because what happens is like if you put no authentication and if you have very sensitive data and you connected all your dataverse as a knowledge source and if you added all those sensitive information, there is a chance that information might get leaked. So why don't we stop it at the first place? We should not even show this option to our end user. Okay, so that you can configure. So if you go to Power Platform Admin Center, authentication for agents. So here it will take you to the data policy examples and then you can configure data policy. Sharing. So here you can even look into the sharing aspects. Now, if I go to security on the left hand side and go to identity and access, there is a setting called as authentication for agents. Now remember, this is in preview state. Okay, so if I go in preview, go to environments and say for Girish dev environment, I'll go to setup and here I'll say who can chat with agents published in the selected environment group or environment, help keep data secure in agent published from Copilot Studio by restricting access to them. So I have an option to either pick this or I can say, oh, I will make my agent available for this environment. I'll say no authentication. So you can configure that. Okay, you have an agent. Now I have this agent is ready. I need to publish this agent. So what I'll do, I'll go to channels and I'll publish in this channels. This is a safe channel, Teams and Microsoft 365 Copilot. This is a safe channel, SharePoint, because it's all Microsoft Windows based authentication. The moment someone publish this to these channels, it might create a problem, like publishing to Facebook or WhatsApp or any other external system, whereby you do not have control. Okay, now again you can control that. So this is all part of governance, so admin needs to take care of all these things. So identity and access, and then there is something called as agent access point. So control the channels where someone can access and use agents published from Copilot Studio. So I'll click on this, I'll select the environment and say, oh, for Girish dev environment, I don't want people to publish to maybe Facebook or D365, or maybe SharePoint is fine, but maybe WhatsApp. And I can control this data policies. So there is an option. So you can control the channels where someone can access and use agents published from Copilot Studio. So I can even control that aspects. Then there are other things with regards to license. So if I go to licensing, I get to see Copilot Studio, and I can see the billing plans. I can see the Copilot credit, manage session, manage agents. If I click on manage agents, I'll be able to see the list of agents. Now, if I go into Copilot Studio, so let's assume I go to the list over here. Now, this is the list of agents which I have created. I go to this three dots. I can open the agent, I can export the agent, I can delete, and I can share. I navigate inside the agent. I can perform some operation, export, import, view solution, delete, share. There's no way you can turn off the agent. If I go to the admin center over here, I can say, come here, and I pick an agent, say Girish Teams agent. I can turn off this agent. So I'll turn off this agent, but this won't be immediate. I'll click on turn off. It says, are you sure you want to turn off Girish Teams agent? This change can take up to 1 hour to apply. Now, why would you do that? Because maybe this agent you have published anonymously, everyone is using in the world, and they are continuously prompting, and then it is consuming your message. The agent is getting abused, right? So at that point of time, maybe you can turn off if you realize, or proactively you can say, I'll set the limit, and I'll say this agent will consume maybe 300 credits. After that, I want this agent to be turned off. Turn off agent when the consumption reaches 100%. And there is an option to even send out a notification. So send notification when nearing the capacity usage. So that's the overage notification. So I can say, oh, if the agent capacity reaches 70%, send a notification so that I'm aware that, oh, this is nearing the capacity of this credits, and I need to protect my agent. Okay, so here there is an option to turn on and off. Now, I showed you in the agent over here, like I can change the language model, right? So if I go to settings, now this is at an agent level. So I can change the model at an agent level. Now, if I go to tools, and like how Nehal showed you, like how to create a prompt. So you can create a prompt either within an agent, or you can navigate to tools and then you can create a prompt. So I'll click on new tool, prompt. Now, once you create a prompt, you have an option to change the model as well. So large language model. So here, this is GPT-4.1 mini, standard, O3, and GPT-5 reasoning. Now, this model is different than the model which was available, in the Copilot Studio interface. So let me show you that as well. So if I go to Copilot Studio and I'll pick up any agent. So let me pick up this agent, cricket agent, go to settings. So the list of model which you see over here is different. See, 4.0, 4.1, 5 auto, 5 reasoning, and this is different. So this is specifically for a prompt. This is not for your agent. So the prompt, whatever you type, will be executed through this model only. You have an option to connect to a new model. Now, as you see over here, I have one Azure AI Foundry model. I have connected over here, and then I can execute that. If you want something else, if you want something from Grok XAI, or Mistral or 5, you can click on connect a new model, put in the configuration information, like there are 4 or 5 parameters you need to put in, and you will be able to connect to that model. And then what happens is, like, you are technically offloading the billing to other models. So Copilot Studio will not get charged. So you connect a new model, you give the deployment name, base model name, Azure endpoint URL, API key, and the description. And then from here, you are offloading the processing of the prompt to an Azure AI Foundry model. Once you use this, you see this instruction. It says when you connect to a model hosted within your Azure AI Foundry subscription, you are directly responsible for implementing your own AI mitigation, such as Metaprompt, content filter, or other safety system. Connection could take up to certain time once creation of connection succeeds. So this is a small note to make. All right. So that's about changing the model. Now, we were here in the licensing part. Now here in Copilot Studio, we went to manage agents. Now you can manage Copilot credits as well. So, take for example, if you have bought a license, and then you get Copilot credits. So you get maybe 25,000 credits, and you have 5 environments. You have an option. You can say, I want environment 1 to be granted 1,000 credit, another environment will be given 10,000 credit, another environment 5,000 credit. So like this, you can split your environment credits. Now where do you do that? Manage Copilot credit, pick up any environment. You can select an environment to manage the capacity. So let me pick up, say, Girish USA. And here I'm telling, now this is 14,500 because I've already consumed some 10,000 credits. So you can say, for this environment, I want it to be consuming, say, maybe 10,000 credits. Now what happens if within a month, if that credits are consumed, you have an option to draw from the available capacity in the tenant. This is one option. Or you can say, oh, if it gets consumed, don't bother using the other tenant's capacity. I will configure pay as you go billing plan. So then after that, it should be pay as you go. So you have an option to pick that as well. And again, the same configuration, overage notification. So if you get a notification when the capacity is reached, 50%, 60%, 70%, or like that. Okay, let's go into the Copilot Studio over here, and I'll just go into, say, knowledge. Now here, when you add a knowledge, you have an option to upload a file, right? So you go here, you pick up a file, and then you want the knowledge source to be coming from that file. So I pick up one file, Word docx copy, and then it will upload this file. Now what if I have a collection of files, and I know that, say, this collection of files will represent a set of information. So example, I'm an airline agent and I am configuring the baggage policy. Now the baggage policy for premium economy customer or first class customer or business class customer are different, right? So I have 4 different files. I can go ahead and upload 4 different files and the agent will process it. But then I want that 4 different files to be processed in a container kind of an interface. So for that, what you can do now, as you see over here, I uploaded this one file. I cannot group this file, right? I'll just cancel this off. I'll go again, add knowledge, and now I'll go to select to browse, and I'll say business class bag policy, premium economy class bag policy, and then maybe let's assume I have this first class bag policy. I select this 3 document, click on open. Now you will see this option, group this files. This option was not available before. So if you select this, so you can group this file. So what happens, this is like a knowledge base. So this is a file group for say baggage policy. And then here you can even put an instruction. You can say agent that if user asks any information about baggage policy, make use of this particular segment. So technically you're grouping this file. So I'll say I'll put some instruction and then you just click on add to agent, and then it will start uploading your file, and then it will show you as a part of the file collection. So this is also one of the tips which I would like to share. Transcript. Now let me go into one of the agent, so Girish USA, and then from here I have an agent named as research agent. So let me click on agent and research agent. So this is one of the agent. Now this agent has I've constantly communicated with the agent. Now I want to see what did I communicate maybe 5 days back. Okay, so if you want to see the transcript, what you can do is you go to activity, and within activity you will be able to see all the activities that has happened. Now here you pick up one of the activity. So once you click on one of the activities, it is actually conversation. So I click on it and you can see the conversation, right? So this is what has happened. But I want to actually see what did I tell to the agent. So you have an option to copy the conversation ID. So this is a important information. But if you want to see what happened, click on this. So activity map, and then here there is a hidden transcript. So you click on transcript and you should be able to see all the conversation which you had with the agent, say on 24th of the 8th. Okay, so this is also a useful information. This was not there earlier. Now these all information is stored in the backend. So where it is stored, so if you navigate to make.powerapps.com, so I'll show you, like this might take some time. So you go into the tables, and then within the table you click on all and you just type in transcript. Now if you want to see all this in a like a raw format, so you can just type in transcript, go to the table. It might take some time because there's a whole bunch of tables within my environment. So once this loads, I'll show you that there's a table called as a conversation transcript, and within that you will be able to see the actual records. So let it load. We'll go into the other topic and come back again. Yeah. So the shield which you see over here, this is a security shield. Now this gives you a useful information. So if I click over here, it says it is protected, no sessions to scan. So there is a threat detection policies and content moderation which are still active. So it is all running in the background. So this is like a most protected information. This agent is also protected in form of authentication because I'm just using Microsoft authentication that is safe and secure. If I go to channels, I have an option over here and it will give you a lot of information. Like this agent is in draft state. Before publishing, it has given me some information like this. It says one risk. Now, what is the risk? There are risks to review in your publish agent. Now, users with editor permission will have full access to the embedded connection by flows or triggers. So, if you have accidentally given uh, rights to some user or some group for your flows or triggers, this will be the area to look into. So click on this, you will get a lot of information. So if I click on agents over here, I have some agent, like one of the agent which is published to the entire world, like no authentication agent. Now here, if I click on the security shield, I should be able to see information like, oh, this is no session to scan. However, here no authentication is required. But this is not good, because I'm publishing it to the entire world. So if I click on channels, you see that publish agent status. It will give you information that there are risks to review. Your agent does not require end user authentication. It's a risk. Okay. Yeah. So let's look into the Power Apps over here. We started looking into the conversation transcript. So we get to see conversation transcript, Copilot transcript. So if I click on conversation transcript over here, uh, it says contains the transcript of conversation between participants such as customers, virtual agent, or human agent. And then here you will be able to see all the conversation transcript in the backend. So this is also one of the things which I would like to show. And I think we are running out of time. Quickly, let me show you the last thing, component collection. So if you want to reuse anything, so if you want to reuse a topic, okay, or if you want to reuse connections, so I'll go into one of the agents. So let me show you the agent which I've built. So I've got tools, I've got agents, I've got topics. So if I want to if I like this agent and this is a standard agent for me, and I want people in my team to reuse the component which I've used within the agent, I'll click on settings, go to component collection, and I'll say I click on new, and I'll say I want some piece of information from this particular agent to be extracted. So I'll call this as maybe Girish reusable components. I can put some nice description. I can pick up some solution. So let me put it in Girish model driven app, click on next, and then I have an option to pick and choose knowledge, topics, MCPs, connectors. So I can reuse this. So I'll say, I have created some good topic, like loop or maybe topic X or maybe topic Z, and I have model context protocol for MCP server, which I've already configured. I have couple of connections, so I'm gonna use this create item. I have some knowledge base which I have uploaded, and I want this to be used by different people, like my website or some XLSX file or some docx file. I'll package all this component and I'll click on next and click on create. Now what I've done is I have created this reusable component from one of the agent which I have created. Now this reusable component, other team members can consume it. So once this is created, you can consume this component. Now, how do we use it? If you go into say cricket agent, so let me go into say one of the agent. Now, I think this is, yeah, this is published. So I'll go into the target agent where I need to consume this. So I'll go to the settings, go to component collection. Now, instead of creating new or click on create, I go to available. And then from here, this is the, maybe this is the one, like which I can use, say Girish insurance component or Girish reusable component, which I just created. So I pick here and say add to the agent, and then this particular, all the topic, MCB connections and knowledge base, all this thing will be now made available within my agent once it processes it. So if I go into topics, I should be able to see the topic. See, this is the topic which I just added, topic X, topic Z. This was not there here. So this got added, loop. And even like the other component which got added. So that's it, folks. This is all about the Copilot Studio tips. Hope you liked and enjoyed it. We don't have time for the questions. However, like I'll make this recording available within my channel so that you can have a look into what I have explained you and what Nehal has explained. So thanks for joining. We'll be having similar sessions in the next month as well. So I hope you guys join. Yeah, that's it,
That was a
folks.
great session, Girish.
Yeah,
Thank
it
you.
was. Thank you.
Thanks,
Thanks.
everyone.
Thanks for joining. Bye.
Bye.